All right, boys, welcome to episode number 6 of the Zero to Payout series. And today, I actually didn't take a trade, which I'm a little bit salty about. We'll get into that in a second. But I did want to show you that yesterday in the PM session, I took a W trade. We made 754 bucks on the account. So that's good at least. And I don't know whether to be happy about that or a little bit upset about the fact that I missed out on the trade today. But we're going to go through both of them because the trade today, it was such a clean trade. And actually, I'll show you right now. We'll just get this out of the way. It was on ES. A lot of people in my Discord took it. So if you took it, good job. It was a great trade. It was this trade on ES. So context behind it, we had London highs above, really the only draw on liquidity that was anywhere near. So that was, I even told my Discord in the morning, ideally I want to see price pump to London highs. We were in this 4-hour gap, respecting it. My bias was a little conflicted though, because we were respecting this daily bearish gap, but also respecting this daily bullish gap. So I was a little bit in the middle, but I wanted to see London highs get hit, and price came down. This was so nice at open. Price comes down. We have this displacement lower. NQ was actually the weaker asset here. Yeah, you can see we had this displacement candle lower inversing the 5-minute, and at this point, this internal low should get taken. But instead of taking that low, we have a V-shaped recovery. NQ inverses the bearish 5-minute gap, and we get this beautiful 5-minute close with a very nice draw right above. You could have taken this based off of the 5-minute close here. You could have taken it based off of the 1-minute, which is how I would have played this trade. Now, like I said, I didn't take a trade. You can see here, reason why I didn't take this. There was a few things going into today. I wasn't super eager to take a trade because I took a pretty good W in the PM session yesterday. Also, my bias was a little bit conflicted, and when we were getting this and we edged this low on NQ, I just wasn't super confident in where we were going to go. But the big thing is that my Project X was tweaking this morning. I don't know about you guys, but mine was freezing every 10 seconds. It was slow. I tried refreshing a bunch of times, and it was just a pain in the ass. So honestly, mentally, I was just pretty much off the charts. But looking back, definitely wish I would have hopped in this position. It ran all the way up to the 4-hour gap, and then we had some crazy pump. But this was a great trade. So a little bit upset that I missed out on it, but it's okay because we're going to go over the trade that I took in the PM session yesterday. And just a heads up, it's a little bit different than some of the trades I would normally take. And so today we are going to talk about discretion. So I have it pulled up on TradingView here, and this was the trade. So you're probably wondering, Colby, well, you trade continuation model. This looks a little bit more like a reversal. Yes and no. And let me explain why I took this trade. So the big reason, looking at the 4-hour, and I have this on replay mode, so we're going back to where we were at yesterday. Look at this. Look at this move up. There's not a single retrace in this whole leg. And price does not just go straight up and down. Like, we are going to get a retrace. So all this was screaming to me was retracement. Now, in the morning yesterday, we'll talk about this first because this does play into the trade as well. In the morning, I was actually more bullish on the day. Even though I wanted to see a retracement higher time frame, why was I bullish? Because Trump tweeted some bullshit at 8:45 in the morning, and then we ended up having this data high. And I know a lot of people were looking to get shorts to this low. Now, the reason why I didn't take shorts, because you'll see we had a pretty clean setup. So price came up. We came up at market open. We made this move higher. And then we had this beautiful 5-minute that inverts this 5-minute gap. Then we go down to the 1-minute time frame. Very nice retracement into this 1-minute gap after inversing the 5. Displacement lower. And I saw a lot of people taking something that looked like this. Stop at the high, entering mid-candle here, targeting this low. And in hindsight, this looks like a very, very nice trade. But unfortunately for you, if you took this, you have data highs resting above. I do not short if we have resting data highs above that are still intact. I will not take a short, because the problem is if you have data high, which we know is a very strong draw on liquidity, and you're trying to target the opposite direction, data high is going to be a magnet for price. So you could have a perfect entry model just like this, but if data high is still intact and the draw you're targeting isn't even very strong, there's a good chance that you're going to get fucked on this position. That's exactly what happened. And this is why draw and liquidity and overall context behind a trade is 10 times more important than the entry model. If you took this loss, that's okay. It's totally understandable. I can see why you would enter this position. You're not an idiot, but journal that if we have data highs intact or data lows, whatever it is, do not target a draw in the opposite direction, because more times than not, I would say it fails. And we're thinking longevity here. We're not just trying to catch one home run. Now, the trade I ended up taking, why this ended up working out in my favor. So price ended up coming higher, and we did end up taking out that data high. Now, lately, a lot of the big moves have been happening in the PM session. So I've been leaving my chart open throughout the day and just taking a peek at it because I want to catch one of those big moves if we get the opportunity. There's really no reason to not. On the 1 hour time frame, let me go to where the actual trade is. Here it is. So I noticed after taking out data high, we created this 1 hour bullish fair value gap. And why is that so important? The reason why it is, if I want to see price go higher, and let's say we just keep ripping up with no retrace, I would still want to see this 1 hour gap get tapped and then price continue up. If I want to go with my original bias and I want to see price get a higher time frame retrace, then I still expect that 1 hour gap to get tapped. So either way with my bias, I still expect that draw to get hit, which is what makes it a strong draw, okay? Now, I was actually making a smoothie at the time, right before I entered this trade, but I noticed that on the 5 minute time frame, we had created the only 5 minute fair value gap in this whole leg up after taking out data highs. You can see here, no 5 minute gap created, and then boom, we create this one with a pretty nice move up. And then what does price do? Price, not right now, sorry, my phone's ringing. Price comes up and we just start chopping. We just start doing absolutely nothing, okay? Price is stagnant, it's failing to go higher, and then we get a very nice inverse of this 5 minute. Now, does just an inverse of the 5 minute mean that we're gonna go all the way back down to the 1 hour gap? No, not necessarily. So what I was waiting for is some type of secondary confirmation, a retracement higher, maybe we sweep the high real quick and go lower, whatever it may be. I need some secondary confirmation, because on the last trade I took that you guys will see, that you already saw, I took a starter position on a trade kind of similar to this, more of a reversal type of trade, and I got bit in the ass because I didn't wait for a retracement. So I learned my lesson from that, and on this trade, I waited for a retracement. After we inversed this 5 minute, which was here, we retraced up into these gaps, and then on this candle, mid candle, once I saw us breaking out of this little range, I entered my position, but I fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about this. I entered in longs on accident, so I clicked buy, which was really stupid. I don't think I've ever done that ever in my trading, maybe once or twice, and I know some of you guys that would do that and try to like let it ride and try to see if you can get out in a green P&L. If you do that shit, if you make a mistake like that, just get out of the position. Just be done. Like, don't be a moron. Shit happens, we're human, but don't be an idiot and let it ride. Like, so I closed that. It was a loss for about $5, which, I mean, it is what it is. It's a little unfortunate. I was in a starter size on this position, but let's talk about the actual trade. I don't even want to fucking talk about that because that was annoying. But it actually kind of worked out because I ended up entering this after this 1 minute close, which was, I mean, that was conviction right there. This 1 minute close was beautiful. I had my stop up at this high right here, and I was targeting that 1 hour gap. And I entered very light on this position. I think I was only in 4 micros. I was risking like 200, 250, somewhere in that range. And the whole idea was to add to this position. You've seen I've been doing this lately because market has been making big moves in one direction. So I started with a position here, and then I was looking to get some type of retracement and then a flip towards the 1 hour gap to add. But as you can see, we never got that, but I still added to the position. So I added when we had, it was a very late add. I had this candle close here is where I added. What I wanted to see was something that looked like retrace up into the 1 minute gap, or not there. It was right before, I wanted to see this candle retrace up into these gaps and then get a flip lower. And then I would add somewhere in this leg right here. That would have been perfect, move my stop to this high, but we never got that. So instead, once I saw price not tap into these 1 minute gaps and we had this strong candle close, volume was very heavy, I just added 3 contracts to the position. 3 micros, nothing crazy, and my position averaged out, I was right around like this area, and my stop was at break even. So I've added to the position, I have increased my reward, but I'm completely de-risked. And that's how you can hit these big trades, by risking very little. It takes experience. This is where the discretion comes into play, because first of all, this trade, very discretionary, very, very discretionary, not your average continuation model, but also adding to positions, knowing when it's right, knowing when the timing is okay, knowing when you're probably not gonna get stopped at break even. That is all due to market experience. That's not something that you can watch some YouTube videos and then the next day you can do this. Like, it takes time. So if you're looking to build discretion, stick to your A+ entry model, stick to the basic standard continuation model, whatever you trade, and then over time, as you see more and more things play out, then you can add those to your arsenal, and then you can start taking more discretionary based setups and managing trades a little bit differently. Now, once I added to this position, my stop was at break even. We immediately flushed the TP, and it was the smoothest trade ever. So that was good. It really wasn't too much of a sweat here. I did have a take profit set because I figured this was going to take longer to play out. I was not watching this the whole time, but it flushed right to my TP, and it did go a lot lower. So I could have squeezed out a lot more. We would have definitely been taking that payout. But even if I was manually closing, like, I would have definitely closed in this chop, because there's no reason to hold a position if we take the first draw and then we start chopping like this. Like, I would never do that. So, good trade, very good trade, very nice trade that played out very smoothly, little bit different from my normal type of trade, but this series, this is what it's about. It's about me showing you everything. And usually, like, I do take trades like this sometimes in Asia or even later in the session like I did on this one. I take trades like this and I don't post about them. I don't review them, because I didn't even post this trade in my Discord, because I don't want to post this and then have a billion people ask me, oh, what is this? Like, I'm going to try to take trades like this. It's like, no, if you do, you'll get fucked. This is because I have experience in the market. I've been doing this for years. I know when certain things will play out most of the time. I can't guess it every time, but I have a good idea of when things will play out, even if it doesn't fit my exact strategy. So if you are newer and you are still in the break-even, unprofitable stage, do not try trades outside your strategy. Okay, this is because of experience. Stick with your A+ strategy, add conviction, add discretion as you move on. Now, that is about it. Still a little bit, like I said, still a little bit upset about this trade today, but it is what it is. You can't catch them all. I'd rather go into my Easter weekend without blown accounts due to some system error, but the account is at 1531 now, so we're back above that 2K drawdown. Probably what I'll do is I'm probably just going to go for one more good A+ setup, get a nice trade in, and then show you guys what scalping for a winning day would be, because we're at 3 winning days for this account now. We need 5, and then that'll probably be that. So regardless if the next trade is a win or a loss, I want it to be an A+, beautiful setup. So that's what we're going to look for. And yeah, hopefully we can wrap this series up. But as always, I have the link to join my Discord. That's going to be in the description of this video. It's a free Discord. I post my bias every single morning. I post the draw on liquidity, exactly what I'm looking for. Any trades that you guys take, you can send them in. There's a trade review category. I will give you my brutal, honest review. Fantastic for speeding up your learning curve. We would all love to have you in the community, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out. Oh, and enjoy your Easter Sunday.